Hi, this is Anthony again, coming back with another video about my life. You know what the word I was looking for was police profiling. You know, I came up in the age of uh, extreme police profiling on black and brown people, and we know it's true. So that's what happened. But anyway, when I was 8 years old, my brother and I would go downstairs and we'll sell homebrew out of the back door. So in the process of selling the homebrew out of the back door, we both decided to open up a bottle and drink it ourselves. You know, the homebrew was 50 cents, so the small bottles and the large bottles was $1. So we would get our buzz on. We would drink and get our buzz on, and that was the beginning of my addiction. I don't blame anyone for my drug use, but circumstances did allow me or cause me to start getting high. So my grandmother would gamble all the time, and my mother was mentally ill. She was schizophrenic, and she stayed with us as well. You know, having a mother that is schizophrenic is a horrible thing on a child. It creates low self-esteem and a lack of not belonging. You know, I can remember one time I got something for Christmas. My dad was a preacher, a sanctified preacher, and I thought he lived thousands of miles away from me. But come to find out, after I got older, he only lived 2 miles away from me. He only came by once a month, and once a month he would give us a silver dollar, you know, and take us for a ride around the block. I never spent the night at my dad's house. He left my mother. At the time when he left her, she had 6 kids. So he left her when she became schizophrenic. You know, I didn't understand mental illness, and I didn't know anything about it, but I couldn't play in the mother jokes with other children in the neighborhood. So when they talk about each other's mother, they left me out, you know, because my mother would walk past laughing, you know, and acting crazy, you know, picking things up off the ground, you know, and I was embarrassed by that, you know, but I would fight. You know, I would fight for I would fight anybody that said anything about my mother, and nobody never said anything about my mother. Thank God for the children that I grew up with. They sympathized with me. You know, I was not afraid as a child. Uh, Matter of fact, I was the fourth child, so I was the placater. I was the child that made my brothers and sisters laugh at a time of grief, at a time of sorrow, at a time of pain. We was always in pain. We didn't know what was going on with us. You know, we were poor. We didn't know we was poor. My grandmother told us that we not poor as long as we got something to eat. You know, as long as we got something to eat with our hands. You know, just fill your belly up, man. You know, so all night long, when I sold homebrew, but all night long I stayed up. And when I went to school the next morning, I slept in class all the time. Even though I was smart, I knew the answers because I could hear them while I had my head on the desk. You know, I was just too ashamed, too afraid to participate in the classroom activities. You know, even though I knew what was going on, I knew things that was happening in the class, the arithmetic, the English, the science, everything I was interested in. But because I didn't have the proper clothes, you know, and I didn't have the self-esteem that other children had, I didn't know anything about their lives, and I know my life was horrible, you know. So I continued to go to school and dropped out of school in the seventh grade. You know, I dropped out of school. I think I was 12 years old. Being up all night selling home brew. So then my grandmother didn't care because she gambled all night and she went to sleep in the morning time, you know, while we sold the home brew, you know. So uh, school was not important to me. I didn't have any clothes to wear. So in order to get clothes, I had to go up to this store called Community, and I would go in with the clothes I had on, and I would change inside of the store and walk out with the new clothes on. And my grandmother had such a bad habit of gambling, that I I used to have to go to the store and get a shopping bag. You know, I would pick a shopping bag up off the counter and collect and go shopping like I was gonna pay for it, but it was already in the bag. And the lady at Sears store, it became Wally's later, she understood that I was living in these conditions, and she didn't object to me coming in shopping. I would order uh, $5 worth of lunch meat, dollar worth of cheese. Go around, get groceries and load them up in the bag and walk out of the store and speak to her and say, "How you doing?" And she said, "How you doing, Anthony?" And I thought that was the most gracious thing that anyone could do for me. Is that didn't say that I was stealing, but I was taking stuff that I needed. I only took stuff that my family needed to eat, my brothers and sisters needed to eat, because a lot of times my grandmother didn't have money. She would send us to the store on Madison and Western, right across Oakley, was in the middle of the block, to get $2 worth of chicken backs, and she would make some chicken and dumplings, or she cooked a big old pot of beans, and pinto beans with cornbread and some salt pork in it. So if you wasn't there for dinner, if you was outside playing or something, you missed it. So I'll be back. So subscribe to my channel to hear the rest of my story, and I don't want to go on and on and on. That would cause you to lose interest in my story. I got a hell of a story to tell. So I'm going to get to it. So subscribe to my channel and just keep on watching my videos. If you know anyone that suffers from opioid addiction or alcoholism, whether it come in cough syrup form, whether it come in pill form, whatever it is, just subscribe to this channel. You're going to hear all about this. Hi, I'm Anthony, and I am an addict. I keep coming back.